minders first, because the magnets came first. Woo! Pile of needle minders. Or pile of pins to become needle minders. I will show you the ones on my projects as I get to my projects. I think the only one I don't have a needle minder for currently is my Celestial Dragon. But, so, oh, magnets! Magnets everywhere! Oh my goodness! Ah! Let's actually show you those first. So I got 2 different kinds of magnets. These ones are 2 centimeters by like 2 millimeters or something. So they're sort of like 2 centimeters. They're round, the size of a nickel? Maybe about a nickel. I've used most of these ones currently because I don't have my medium-sized magnets. Eventually, the other magnets that I have coming are like 1 centimeter by, I can't remember if they're 1 centimeter by 2 millimeters or 1 centimeter by like 3 millimeters. They might be a little bit thicker. But they're sort of 1 centimeter. So most of the needle minders that I currently have using this size magnet, I will actually do them with smaller magnets. But so for now I have big magnets on everything. And then I have fairly tiny square magnets. Despite the fact that I like looked up, you know, what size my magnets were when I ordered them, these still seem smaller than I was expecting. They're like 1 centimeter by 1/2 centimeter by, again, 2 or 3 millimeters. This is currently a stack of like 9 because I've used 1. So I have a couple more needle minders that I know I think are going to get these square ones, but you know, I'm going to wait until my other magnets come to decide. But because I was, let me stick those together. There we are. Because I was, you know, I had my magnets, I was like, okay, let's prepare needle minders. Oh, I have one more magnet in here. Whoops. Right. That's the one magnet I had from before. And I have never actually bothered to measure it and find out how much it is. So, that came from this one, which is Mockingjay from the Hunger Games. It used to be a pin. I took the pin back off and put a magnet on it. Turns out I'm going to probably want to either try and pry that off. It's crazy glued on, so I don't know if prying it off is going to work. Or crazy glue another magnet onto it, because it works, but it's not as strong as I would like. This was the first needle minder I made. It was kind of like my proof of concept. So I didn't know what I was doing yet. And that was the magnet I had. So that's the magnet I used, but it's not as strong as I would like. So I'm probably going to do something with that when my other magnets come. And then I have a bunch of pins that I've made into that I'm making into minders. This one. So this one is an Assassin's Creed person. Yes, it really does go that way, because if you look on the back, that is where I filed down the pin. So that's the top. So I think it's, you know, because it's an Assassin's Creed person, they're like super, like, you know, fighty, dexterous, martial arts, stabby people, so he's like probably like jumping off a building, you know, being awesome, because that's what they do. I might put square magnets on this one. I'm not sure. This one, interestingly, even though it's metal, it's not magnetic metal. So I can't do anything with this until I actually glue a magnet onto it. I don't want to do that until my other magnets come. But yeah, so I got that one. It's metal, and this feels like a resin. And then it was a promotional thing for, is it Ubisoft that makes Assassin's Creed? No, that doesn't sound right. BioWare? I'm blanking on the game company that does Assassin's Creed, but it was a promotional thing at, like, their booth, at PAX this year, because, like, the Assassin's Creed movie had come out fairly recently at that time. So yeah, that was that one. I filed the pin back off of that one. The rest of these are... Okay, I showed you this one before. That was one of the ones I got at Comic-Con. I've just popped the craft magnet off the back. Turns out those weren't terribly strong adhesive. And again, they weren't strong enough magnets. I could stick a needle to the magnet, but I couldn't stick the needle to the front of the pin, which kind of defeats the purpose. So I popped the magnet off. This will get one of my smaller magnets. Again, for now, it's big enough that I've used other pins this size and just used the big magnets, but eventually they'll get small magnets. This one is I don't remember, this is Star Wars, and I don't remember if it's the New Republic or the Old Republic. I picked it up because Star Wars and because pretty. So, that's that one. Uh-oh, I'm losing a magnet. This one is my only one that's square. This one was one of the Zombies Run virtual races. It is the Special Threat Response Unit. I also have an awesome t-shirt that has, like, Special Threat Response, Runner 5, and then on the back it says, has, like, yellow text that says, like, if you can still read this, this person is not a zombie. And it has, like, that little, like, biohazard, I don't know if you can see the little, like, biohazard symbol. It's pretty awesome. I need to do more Zombies Run virtual races. Zombies Run, if you don't know, it's an app which, if you are ever, if you are interested in, exercising at all, you should totally check out. It's for running, obviously, or, I mean, you can bike or do other, like, moving things. It kind of works just as well. And the idea is, you set out to do your normal, you are running like you would, you just doing a jog. But what happens is the app plays a story as you're running. And the story is that the zombie apocalypse has happened, and the only way that your sort of, like, township, your community, your base, outpost, whatever you want to call it, your small portion of humanity that's trying to survive, the only way they can get supplies is they send out runners. Because if you can outrun the zombies, you can get home safe. For most zombies, all you have to do is move above a slow shamble. So while you're running, you get a story about, the missions you're going, like, each sort of, like, episode is sort of like a mission. It takes between half an hour and 45 minutes to play through. And Zombies Run will use your playlist from, your, like, phone or whatever, phone or tablet, whatever you're playing it on, so, like, iTunes, or I think it actually does use, like, Spotify and things too. And sort of, like, between songs on your playlist, you'll get a clip of either, it'll be, like, people who are there with you, characters who are running the missions with you, or you have basically your radio operator, who tells you kind of where to go, and he has, like, a camera system so he can kind of see where zombies are, and sort of, tells you, like, oh, you have to, like, there are zombies coming, you need to run faster, kind of thing. If you want to be extra badass, it also has an option for, like, zombie chases, where the app will tell you zombies are chasing you and you have to run faster to escape them. And so that's kind of cool. I haven't actually turned on zombie chases in a couple of years because I've not been running enough to make that feasible. I need to do more running, but I seem to have a hard time finding time to go out. Bad runner. bad word. But yes, it is awesome. It's a really good story. I love it. I started like 3 or 4 years ago thinking, hey, I should probably do some exercise, but like every time I would try and like be like, okay, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna try and do like some yoga before bed or something, or like, some sit-ups or something to do a little bit of exercise to, not just be a complete noodle. My arms are still noodles. I have no arm strength. And so then I was like, okay, I'd heard about Zombies Run before, and I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll try it. I think it was even on sale at the time. Actually, now it's even better because the base app is actually free, and the first 4 or 5 seasons of missions now, I think it basically what happens is you have the base app and you have a couple seasons of missions that are free, and if you want like newer seasons of missions, you sort of pay a yearly access fee or something for those missions. I'm not sure exactly how it works because I bought it when it was still when the base app was still cost like $5 or something. So I'm like got the base map plus app plus some extras for being like a legacy purchase or whatever you call it. But yeah, so it's definitely like completely free to try. I think you get the first 2 or 3 seasons at least, and I think the first one's like 20 missions, and then like the second and third one are like 40 each. So there's a lot of content there for you to try. And like, here's the thing, like I said, I tried doing other exercise. I would like stick to it for maybe a month and just be like, and then I would just end up not doing it. But with Zombies Run, I have been running every summer since I started doing it, I think 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now. I'm not as good at running in the winter, I admit, because I have to like get to the gym and do that, and I get a treadmill and things. And sometimes I just I haven't found time to go because I have to actually make more time for that, and then I go and like the treadmill is booked. So I end up not actually running. So I'm less good at running in winter. To be fair, I'm not always good at running in summer either because I have to run at sunset. As I may have mentioned before, my eyes are really light sensitive. So if I'm kind of dangerous running during the day because I can't always see what I'm doing. So I mean, I'm relatively okay, but I don't feel safe unless I have someone to like kind of be my guide and like warn me, oh, there are steps here, oh, there is a person coming, watch out for this like low-hanging branch, which I might see, but I might not see. So I run at sunset. There's like an hour window at sunset where it's dark enough for me to see well, because that's when I see the best, is like twilight time. Okay, tangent aside, because I was talking about needle minders. But yeah, so that is the Zombies Run virtual race, and what happens is, so Zombies Run is this app. You get a story about zombies with your music, which is awesome, but the last couple years they've started doing a virtual race, which is through the app. The virtual races actually give you their own extra story. So there's usually 2 or 3 sort of like training missions or like practice runs of like 5 or 10K. And it will like, because it has your GPS, or you can turn on your GPS and it can track how much time you've gone. So the race missions will time themselves to be, most of the missions are just a time they run for 30 or 40 minutes. Depending. You can actually set the intervals between radio clips. But the missions will do it by distance, so that the races will do it by distance, so that your training missions will be, 5K long. And then they have the race mission, And so the app will give you your 5K or 10K race mission. So you're doing your Zombies Run story, but then it will also upload, like, you can upload your, like, race time to, like, the Zombies Run website sort of thing. I don't exactly know how that computery stuff works. And it will show you, you know, compared to everybody else who's been running the race. So it's kind of a race and kind of not. So that's why it's a virtual race, because you can run it wherever you happen to be running. You know, you could run around your block 20 times to get 5K if that's what you have to do. But you get your, like, you know, you get, like, the race scoreboard, so you can see how well you did and try and, you know, it's more of like a fun run race kind of thing, you know, try and beat your, you know, your personal best and get yourself out there and moving. And so each of the races, when you sort of like purchase into a race, you can choose either a short sleeve or long sleeve shirt, and then there's usually, like, it comes with a package with, like, a shirt, and, like, this one had a pin, and you get a little thing about your story. So in the one that I did, it was, like, the Special Threat Response Unit, and it was, like, that the story was set, like, just when the apocalypse had started, I think it was, and I was trying to, you know, help figure out what the hell's going on? Why are there suddenly zombies? But yes, and so it had, like, the shirt has, like, this cool, like, biohazard crown thing going on, because it's set in, Zombies Run is set in England. So. But yeah, so that was that. That's, so the pin is cool. The shirt is cool. But I want to turn that one into a needle minder, which is what I was actually talking about. Okay. Oh. The next two are my hacker needle minders. What it is I think these two were also ones that I picked up as promotional things, at PAX. This one is, sort of like the icon logo, whatever you call it, for a game called Darknet, which, I mean, I just think it looks cool, because it's, like, blue glowy hexagons. So that's why I'm like, I'll make that into a needle minder, because blue glowy hexagons. This is actually a VR game. I've played it a little bit, because my person picked it up on the PSVR recently. It's actually pretty fun. We tried this, actually, like, demoed it at PAX, I think, like, 3 years ago, when VR was just coming out. Like, they hadn't even released, like, consumer versions. It was all, like, the developer kits. So that was Darknet, so it's finally come out for, like, all the VR units, and Chris picked it up recently. But like I said, blue glowy hexagons, so I think that's cool. So that's going to be a reminder. And this is another hacker type game, called Black Ice, which is, I haven't actually played it in a while. I think this was another PAX one. I think I picked this one up a couple years ago. Might have been the same year, I don't remember, 2 or 3 years ago. And it was kind of neat because, the game might still be in development. I mean, I like the thing because it's, like, a cool, like, shiny skull, computery icon, which is why I want to make it into a needle minder. It's just a cool looking icon. The game is kind of like a shooter, but you're supposed to basically be in, like, computers, and you're, like, trying to hack, you know, corporate servers and, like, steal things. And then, like, basically the programs that are trying to stop you are, like, little, like, glowy, like, monsters, and so then you, like, try and, like, shoot them, and not die. You know, so while your hack completes. It's actually pretty fun. And it's kind of neat because the guy who developed this, he was actually selling Steam keys for, like, $10 or something at PAX, which is where I picked it up. But the guy who was developing this, it was like one guy, and I think maybe he had like one guy, and then like he had a friend who was an artist to do like, you know, to do like the icons and things for him. And he was just like, his day job was something completely different, and he was just like, I love to like program, so I just made this video game in my spare time. So when I bought it because I like tried it and I was like, hey, this is fun. But when I bought it, it was fairly basic of you're trying to hack these things and that's it. He had plans to like, I think add like a story element. So I don't know if that's happened yet because I haven't played it in a couple of years. But yeah, Black Ice, it's on Steam. I don't know what it costs now because again, I got the Steam key from the developer at PAX. I just like the cool hacker skull. So it looks pretty badass. That's why it's going to be a needle minder. This one. That one I think is a random video game that I demoed at some point. I don't remember anything about what it is or was. I don't know. It's just kind of pretty. It's all like oranges and yellow. I'm actually kind of thinking that these, I have a couple more of these like small, sort of small magnets, and what I might try and do is use these ones not as needle minders themselves, like, ooh, I need to file that one. It's got a blip. It's sharp and pointy, I wouldn't want to use that. Gotta file that before I use it as a needle minder. But I'm thinking maybe to do like needle minder backs, because they're small magnets, they're not magnets. They're small pins. The magnets that I have coming will fit, you know, on these backs. And then I figure if I have, you know, whoops, something on the back of the magnet, on the back magnet, if you will, and something on the front magnet, they should be easier to pull apart. And that was, so I have, like I said, I have a couple more of these like small buttons, and so I pulled the pin off that one, and then this is another one of these small ones. Again, this was a game I demoed. This was, I think it was a Wii U game. It was actually really fun. It was affordable space adventures, which is an awesome title for a video game. And from what I remember, it was like you were on a ship. Obviously, you were like on a spaceship, but it's like and like touring the solar system or something. But it was like you bought like the, you know, used car. You know, you went to like the sleazy used car salesman and bought a spaceship. So, you know, it doesn't work like you expected, and you had to like fly your spaceship and keep it from falling apart. And I think actually the thing that was cool about this one, from what I remember, is each of the players were doing different things. So depending on, so they were like different sort of like roles, or like operating different parts of the spaceship, and so you had to work together. So that was cool. Again, this was one I think I played 2 or 3 years ago, tried. It was an indie game. I'm pretty sure it was in the indie game place. So I have no idea if it ever like got beyond the demo, because I've never, like, I don't have a Wii U, my person doesn't have a Wii U. But I just love the idea of affordable space adventures. That sounds like it's going to be interesting. Oh, that was dumb. I just have needle minders everywhere. Okay, let's put my magnets back in here and stick everything together. So this is my container of needle minders to be, except for the ones that are on projects. Let me see if I have ones for projects. Oh, right. So this is, that's my dragon sampler, which I haven't done anything on yet since last time you saw it. But for now, it's got Team Mystic as its needle minder. Not that Team Mystic has anything to do with dragons. Team Mystic, Pokemon Go. There are no Pokemon in this pattern, but I figured, you know, legendary bird Pokemon, closest I have that, you know, kind of vaguely a dragon, maybe? So that's that one. I have... Okay, yes. I have, this is my Joan Elliott Celestial Dragon, and also Tangible Good Desert Best Tapestry Project are kind of both living in here right now. The black and white for that anyway, because I've been basically stealing the needle and scissors out of here for the Tangible Good project because I've used all my scissors. I have hoops for everything still, so I'm technically not, like, I'm technically still good. It's getting a bit crazy, but that's the one project I haven't actually picked a minder for yet, which I will have to do. Or one current working project that I haven't picked a minder for yet. That pile goes there. This is, yay, Egyptian Sampler. And for my Egyptian Sampler, whoops, here is the minder I have for that. As I mentioned, it is an ostrich plume, which is the symbol for Ma'at, goddess of truth and justice. So I figure it goes with the Egyptian theme. So for this one, what I ended up doing is it wasn't like a pin back the same as the other ones. It had a, I don't know how to, I should have taken pictures when I was doing it, but I didn't because I didn't think about it. Yeah, so what I ended up doing is basically twisting off the two sides of the pin and then filing it down, and actually, luckily, when I'd done that, there was a piece, I don't know if this is going to show up, I don't know if you can sort of see that, but a piece just big enough for one of my centimeter by half a centimeter magnets. So it actually worked out. So that was actually a fairly small magnet. I'm going to use a smaller magnet when they come, but so that goes, whoops, oh, that goes that way currently. So that's the needle minder for that one. I mentioned that at the same time that I bought this one, I had also bought a different brooch to turn into a needle minder. I haven't done anything with that one yet because I'm not sure how to do it. And I don't want to take the two sides of the pin back off before I know how to turn it into a minder, because otherwise then I just have a thing that is neither a pin nor a minder. So currently it's still sitting on my board. I'm not sure what to do with that one. So that was magnets and minders. I have one more minder, one more project with a minder, but I will get to that in a second.